Call to order the meeting of the Haverford Township Zoning Hearing Board of Thursday, May 18th, 2023. Present at the front table to my far left is Jessica Batali, a voting member.
Evening.
Next to Jessica is Ed McGargy, a voting member. My immediate left, Ernie Angelos, our solicitor.
Good evening.
My right, Bill Rose, voting member. Next to Bill is Jesse Boynton, a voting member. My far right, Kelly Kirk.
Changing the water.
Hey, Cal.
The aquarium.
Zoning officer for Haverford Township, and Margie Buchanan, our right-hand administrative person with zoning for Haverford Township. Billy, would you like to lead us in the pledge?
Please rise if you can and repeat after me. Pledge allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. We have two continued cases and two new cases listed for this evening. The first continued case, approximately 3:40 this afternoon, the attorney called and spoke to our solicitor, and he's quite ill and said he would not be able to make it tonight. So with respect to case Z23-05, DMG Elite Properties LLC, and I won't read the rest of the description to the record unless someone specifically requests that I do so, that case is going to need to be continued to our next hearing, which is June 1st.
And for the record, we did get a full blanket waiver from the attorney in connection with that request.
All right. That being said, first case we're going to hear tonight is case Z23-08, Renee Hyde, lessee of 24 Brookline Boulevard, Havertown, PA, D folio number 2207-001290, who seeks a variance from the provisions of section 182-403B1 to allow use of 24 Brookline Boulevard as a retail boutique, where C2 zoning district does not allow for retail shops. Property is located in 7th Ward and Zone C2.
I have some supplemental packets. Would you like those now?
Sure. How are you?
I do. It's in my bag. Sure. My name is Jennifer Bazidlo, B-A-Z-Y-D-L-O. My office is 2401 Walnut Street, Unit 102 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 19103. And I'll get you a card afterwards.
Okay.
Can I proceed?
Go ahead, Jennifer.
Great. So, like I said, my name is Jennifer Bazidlo. I'm here with Renee Hyde, who is the owner of Novita Boutique, and she is seeking a variance to use the first floor commercial space of 24 Brookline for her boutique. I'm just going to start with telling you a little bit about Renee. She is born and raised in Havertown. She is a 2015 graduate of Havertown High School, or Haverford High School, excuse me, and she continues to be a resident of the township. In May of 2021, she opened her boutique first at 10 Eagle Road. Her boutique sells clothing, jewelry, and home goods. If you look at Exhibit A1, that's a little bit more about Renee and her business and her philosophy about business. You can also find more information at shopnovitaboutique.com. If you whip out your phone, I'll save you from printing out the website, but there you can see what she sells. It's all really lovely stuff and unique stuff to the township. She successfully grew her business over the past 2 years in this location and has a large customer base of Haverford residents as well as customers from nearby communities. And that is why she decided she was going to move locations to 24 Brookline, because she thought that would be a great opportunity to have a little more space, a little more foot traffic, and really grow with that commercial corridor. What she didn't know, and also what her landlord didn't know, is that this is zoned C2. Neighborhood commercial district, and her boutique cannot open by right in a C2 zoning district. It's a C3 zoning district use. And the reason we thought that it was because it was a former salon, it was a commercial business on a commercial corridor, and she wanted to open up a commercial business on a commercial corridor, not knowing the details of subcategories of commercial zoning, reasonable for a boutique owner. That's why we are here today. So I just want to talk a little bit about zoning criteria and how she's meeting them. Again, this is something she didn't know she was getting into in terms of needing a zoning variance until she had already submitted for her use and occupancy license, and it got denied. And that's when she called me. So let's just talk a little bit more about the business. I also on A2 is pictures of the property inside and out, as well as the large parking lot, which I'm sure you're familiar with, that's across the street on Brookline Avenue, just so we're all oriented where we are.
And A3, we may as well identify all the exhibits, Jennifer. So A1 is the Novita Boutique webpage. A2 are photos of the interior and exterior. A3 are petitions.
It's letters. It is a letter of support from Discover Haverford, and then also petitions from the nearby businesses on Brookline and I believe on Darby as well, saying that they support the granting of the variance.
So they're identified. You want to move them? Please go to object. They're admitted. Please proceed.
Great. So one of the criteria we're looking at, especially when we're talking about a use variance, is whether or not this business is going to alter the essential character of the neighborhood or in any way damage surrounding businesses. And that's absolutely not the case here. As I already said, we're looking to have a commercial business and a commercial zoning and a commercial corridor. But even more so than that, there's other already shops that are on this block. There's St. Jude's, there's Planted Roots. So there is already some of this retail in the C2 zoning district on Brookline. But not only will it not harm, I would argue that Novita Boutique is exactly the kind of business that we want to be on Brookline. And I say this, I'm just, I'm stepping out of a lawyer hat for a second. I am a resident of Haverford Township. I live on Jacqueline Drive in Maryland Park. It's exactly the type of thing I want to, and again, I'm not trying to have any hearsay, but lots of people contacted me very excited about this business. So, in any case, and I think that Novita Boutique has a positive impact on this commercial corridor. It fits seamlessly right in. You can come and you can shop for a top or a dress or some jewelry, and you can go get a smoothie at Mangoes and more. You could pick up a pizza for dinner, or some, sushi, and it just works all together. The businesses amplify each other. I also want, and I think that the evidence of that is the petitions from the neighboring businesses supporting it, as well as from Discover Haverford. If you look at their letter, it is a glowing letter. A disclaimer, I just joined the Discover Haverford board last week. However, I abstained from voting whether we should support this or not. I just want to clear that up. But if you look at that, she has been a very engaged member of our community already. I'm just going to read one paragraph. Renee has been deeply engaged in the community, often participating as a vendor in local events, supporting the economic vitality of our community and business districts. She has been a Discover Haverford sponsor from the beginning and has participated in Small Shop Saturday, the Havertown Holiday Festival, and Keep It Local gift card program. She also, in her store, sells items from other local artisans and vendors, so she's supporting other small businesses with her small business. So in case you can't tell, I think that this is going to be a really great addition to this commercial corridor. Few more technical issues. C2, you're permitting much higher intensity uses on this block. A salon, a takeout restaurant, a gym, all have much higher turnover, higher traffic, higher parking needs, higher noise, all that sort of stuff. We're dealing with a 750 square foot boutique right now, about max 15 customers a day. This is also hoping to gain more by being there, but a much less impactful business in terms of any sort of negative than a by right use on this property. So, a couple of technical things. Like I said, 750 square feet, first floor retail space. There's storage in the basement. Hours are 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., 5 days a week. Renee is thinking to keep it in line with the other stores on the block, which would be then Wednesday to Sunday. And they have similar hours of operation, so we're just trying to keep in line with that commercial corridor and just supplement what's already there. And then I would just like to invite Renee to speak a little bit and tell you about her passions.
Hi, Renee. Please
Hi.
raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth so help you God?
I do.
And your full name and your address for the record, please?
Sure. My name's Renee Hyde. My address is 615 Woodland Drive, Haverford Town, PA, 19083. Literally right down the street. I walked here. So a little bit about me. Jennifer did a pretty good job of describing some things, but I grew up here. Born and raised, went to Haverford, graduated in 2015, then went on to go to Philadelphia University for fashion design, so owning a boutique is right up my alley, and a passion of mine, and I graduated in 2019 from there. Throughout high school and college, I worked 2 jobs here in Havertown, both retail. One was at Lizelle's Bridal Boutique, and one was at Renee James Boutique, which is where I ended up taking over that spot. And from there, I just grew the business and made it my own. And the reason that I decided to move was only with my business's best interest in mind, as anybody would do for their business, and also with the community and the surrounding businesses in mind as well. So, yeah. A little bit about me.
And I just wanted to say, you heard my testimony, believe it to be truthful and accurate, and would adopt it as your own?
Yes.
There you
Okay,
go.
cool.
Thank you, Jennifer. Questions? Bill?
So your times of operation, I think your counsel had suggested would be in line with the typical Brookline businesses in that block or those block, the 2 blocks, Wednesday to Sunday.
Yes.
And then the hours of operation typically that you would anticipate?
Yeah, so I'm thinking 11 to 7, especially, in the summer when people are out a little bit later walking around, when the sun's still, setting, so.
But you want the flexibility to be open more than just those days and those hours, right?
Oh, well, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I just wondered what you would contemplate.
Oh, yes, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I don't have any other questions. Thank you.
Jesse?
The current business that's vacated is what?
It was a hair salon.
And did you have any involvement in that hair salon?
I did not know.
Oh, so it's just a coincidence that it was
That's
Renee.
Renee. Actually, so the first boutique that I moved into was Renee James. I'm Renee, and now I'm moving into where the old Headlines by Renee was.
Okay, I was very
So
confused.
it seems a little bit meant to be, if I'm being honest. I don't know what you guys
The
think.
Renees are the entrepreneurs in the township.
Okay, so to continue on your facts, you mentioned 750 square feet, and we always talk about parking here. That would relate to 1 parking space for every 200 square feet for retail, so that would be 4 spots, if my math is right. What was existing was a personal care, so that was 1 for every 100, so that would have been about 8 spots. So is it correct then that you'd be reducing the number of parking spaces required from 8 to 4?
Yes.
Yes.
And how many employees would be? Is it
So
just-
right now I'm the sole employee of the boutique. Probably no more than 1 or 2 though.
No other questions?
Jessica?
I have no other questions.
Ed?
The issue, I look at the difference between the C2 district and the C3 district, and there's a lot of overlap. The C2 district is for trying to get it so that people in the neighborhood would use it as opposed to being a draw. What type of customer base do you have currently?
So my customers are mostly young women. Young, it's a wide range, but women. And they're all pretty much local, but some do come from other areas of Delco. If they're, families traveling, people will bring people from out of the state, stuff like that, Philly, but mostly local, for sure.
And the people that come to your store would basically, how long would they be there to shop?
I'd say like an hour or so, at most, yeah.
And you think, when they're convenience stores, the grocery stores are allowed in C2 district, but not in this, would draw a lot more people, you would think, than your boutique.
Yes. Yes,
Okay. I have no,
thank you.
And I have none. Is there anything else you would like to add?
Just that this is more than a job to me. This is my passion. It's been my life for 2 years and my livelihood, and I love what I do, and I love that I do it here where I grew up. So I appreciate all of your time, and I hope that this works out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Jennifer, your exhibits were already admitted. Anything else you'd like to say?
I think we
Okay,
got it covered.
all right. With that, I'll ask if there's anyone present that received certified mail that wishes to testify. Anyone that received regular mail? Any other residents of Haverford Township? So no one's here about, oh, please come forward. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I will.
And your full name and address for the record, please.
My name is Eamon Tohill, 614 Woodland Drive. Tohill, Tohill, 614 Woodland Drive.
And what would you like to tell us?
I'd just like to say that I'm here in support of Renee. I don't want to denigrate any of the planning board, but I don't understand some of the stuff that's going on. We just had a distillery opened up on Derby Road that almost burned to the ground a couple of weeks ago beside a high school. We have vape stores, we have tobacco stores, we have this, we have that. And this young lady is, I have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old, 2 young girls. And I would like to encourage them as a resident of Havertown to open up their own business at some stage, if that's what their passion is and what they want to do. And this young lady here wants to do that and has been held up for the last couple of months because of this situation that I cannot get my head around. So I would urge you, please, to make this. She's out a lot of pocket. She had to pay $2,000 to get a rezoning. The financial burden on her after moving in and paying a lease and paying all that money to try and open up this store to sell women's clothing. Come on, guys. All right, peace out.
Any questions?
Thank you, Eamon.
No? No. Anyone else here for this case? No? I guess that's a wrap, Jennifer, on this.
Thank you.
With that, we'll close the record on this case, and we have a really full agenda tonight, but we will do a decision on this case tonight.
You can have.
Oh, wait, you could have mine if you want. You guys want to do it right now? You ready? Okay. Well, just because I know the evening's going to run quite late, I would ask, Jessica, are you prepared to vote on this case? Ed, are you prepared?
Sure.
Bill?
Yes.
Jesse? And so am I. Jessica, would you please take this decision?
Sure. I would make a motion to approve the application with the following condition, that work will be complete within 1 year and in accordance with the notes of testimony.
Ed?
I concur.
Bill?
I agree.
Jesse?
I agree.
And so do I. So that application's approved 5-0. Did she leave already? Oh. Good luck.
Good luck.
I'm proud of you. Okay. The next case, Z23-09, Scott and Stephanie Bragg, owners of 728 Lorraine Street, Ardmore, PA, DC folio number 2206, 0143200, who seek a variance from the provision, section 182606C6A, to construct an 18-foot by 14-foot two-story addition to a non-conforming twin home that will encroach into the required 8-foot side yard setback by 6 feet and provide a 10-foot aggregate where 20 foot is required. Property is on R4 and located in the 6th ward. Okay.
Good evening. Hello. How are you guys?
And
I do have some other pieces to give you guys. I didn't have it admitted as exhibits yet.
Let's do this. And what's your name?
Stephanie.
And you're Stephanie? And I'll
Scott.
swear you guys in, but I.
Yeah.
So Stephanie, I'm going to go off the record. We're going to take a break. Our solicitors can help you pre-mark your exhibits so
Okay.
we can move them to the record real quick.
Thank you.
So with that, we're in recess. Okay, so during the break, Ernie was kind enough to help you mark your exhibits.
Yes.
And I'm going to describe them for the record, and if I misstate anything, please correct me.
Sure.
So A1 is going to be your zoning board application together with everything attached to it. A2 is are two photos, the exterior of your house. A3 is updated sketch plan.
It's an additional part of our plans. It's page 2. Just, yeah. I'll talk about that.
In addition to the one that we got in our packets then?
That's page, so what you have are now page 1 and 2 of our plans.
So we should treat exhibit A3 as a 2-page.
Whatever, this is,
The first part of the plan is in A1,
Yeah.
and then the second plan is A3, the second part.
Oh, I got it.
okay, and now I'll swear you in. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
We do.
And your full name and address for the record?
We are Scott and Stephanie Bragg.
do
I'm
one
sorry,
at a time.
one at a time, okay.
Just do.
Stephanie Bragg, 728 Lorraine Street, Ardmore, 19003.
Now, you please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
And your full name and address for the record, please?
Yeah. Scott Charles Bragg at 728 Lorraine Street, Ardmore, Pennsylvania, 19003.
Okay, now that we've gotten all the formalities out of the way, please tell us a little bit about what you would like to do and why.
Sure, so we are looking to build an addition onto our home. A little bit about the property and our family is that my grandfather built the house in the 70s. My parents and myself and my little sister moved in 1987. So I grew up in that house. I attended school in Haverford Township. I graduated in 2000. I actually lived there until I got married in 2009. And then we moved out of the house. But my mom and my dad, Sherry and Chuck Spinelli, lived in that house. It was owned by my grandmother, who lived next door. And unfortunately, she passed away in 2019 in June. And then, so the house would have gone to my dad 3 months later. In October of 2019, my father died. And we asked my mom, what do you want to do? Do you want to live in the house by yourself? Do you want to move out? Do you want to live with us? And she said at some point she wanted to live with us. We lived in Bridgeport during the lockdown, COVID lockdown. So, and the housing prices were going up. We thought, well, not a better time now than if you want us to live with you, we can sell our place and see what we want to do. So in 2021, we sold our house in Bridgeport and moved back into the house I grew up in with my mom. And now we're looking to build an addition so that our family fits a little more comfortably. So it's a 2-story addition off the rear of the house with a basement. So the plans in A1 give you just like a little idea of the 2 sides of the twin and where the addition comes off. And then in A3, that's the basement plan, but it's all the same dimension, so you guys can see where it is in relation to the party wall and everything between the 2 houses. We have spoken with our neighbors directly next door, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to get them to write a little note in support, but we spoke to them yesterday, and they don't have any issues with the building of the addition, and we'd be happy to get that to you guys if you'd like it. And that's a little bit about us and what we're trying to do.
Okay. Jessica?
So you included the basement plan showing a new full walkout basement. What are you planning for the other 2 floors?
So off the first floor, off the back of our kitchen is going to be my mom's room. So a room and a bathroom for her with a little deck. And then also there'll be in between the new part of the house and the current house, there'll be a small deck and stairs that'll lead to our backyard, which we don't currently have. And then on the top floor, the second floor, is just going to be another bedroom. So currently we have a smaller bedroom that my boys are living in together, and that room will turn into like a little bit of a den, a walk-through, and then a new bedroom will be above my mom's room. So walk-out basement, mom's room, and then a bedroom.
And will your mom be getting her own separate kitchenette?
No.
Okay. So she'll just have a bathroom,
Yeah,
a
just
bedroom,
just a bedroom and a bathroom, yes.
and will she be sharing living space with you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So you have no intention of ever renting out a
no.
part of the house?
No, it's for her.
Okay. And then it's a 2-story addition, but in the back, it'll look like 3 stories, correct?
Yeah, it'll look like 3 stories from the back, which is why I included the pictures, so you guys could kind of get an idea of what the back of our side of the house looks like, in addition to the neighbor's side as well.
And then what would your plans be for the approximately 2 feet of space that's left over between your neighbor's house and your house?
We don't have any plans to move into that space at all, just to leave that open between them.
Okay, so you-
Right now, there's 2 air conditioning units in between.
So you won't be storing anything between the 2 deck additions?
Nope.
Okay. I don't have any other questions right now.
Ed?
Yeah, I guess I'm having a little trouble figuring out what the actual violation was that you needed a variance for. Could you explain what you were told?
Yeah, we were told that that we're too close to the party wall by, I believe it is 6 feet, that there's an extra 2 feet, and then that our side yard setback isn't to the current zoning rules.
This is your existing house has this nonconformity, is that right?
I assume so. We've never tried to build on the house in all the years we've lived there, so I've never come up against what the zoning rules are.
So you were told that, so your side yard setback, which is the 8 feet that you show here?
Yeah.
Kelly, could you explain what we're actually looking at? Oh,
Marges.
Marge, could you explain what we're actually looking at here, what they needed to have and what they don't have?
So the issue with this property is that it's zoned R4, when traditionally twins are zoned R6, which would give you only one side yard that would be 12 feet. R4 has an aggregate of 20 feet. So that is the nonconformity.
But it's an existing twin that was not, we don't know if it was, it had to be approved by the township, it was only 1970. So it had to get a variance at that time, do we know?
It's just where the zoning sits. It's in an R4 zoning district.
Okay, but a normal twin wouldn't have 2 side yard setbacks.
Right.
So we're talking about 8 foot, so we do have the 8 foot on the other side. The existing house is not going to go any closer to the side yard setback on the right-hand side of the drawing than currently exist with the existing house. Is that correct?
Yes, yeah. The steps will come out a little bit into our driveway, but we have all driveway.
You're just going back.
Yeah, we're just going back. We're not going
Yep.
wider.
And
Yeah, we're
the-
just going
the
straight back.
Steps wouldn't count because
Yeah,
the steps,
okay.
as long as you didn't have a landing that was like a deck or something. So you're just
Yeah.
going to have a landing to be able to get into.
Yes.
No other questions.
Bill?
I just want to make sure, when I looked at the cover sheet general notes architectural site plan, which was attached as Exhibit A1, and it was included in our original packet. It looked like the staircase didn't, do you know what I'm talking about this, on this
Yeah.
map? Okay.
Yeah.
There's a small deck that's depicted off the back of the property and a staircase that seemingly goes to nowhere.
It goes from the first floor into our backyard driveway. So our driveway runs all the way back to the walkout basement, and then we have a large sort of landing area of asphalt before you get to our grass. So those stairs just go from the first floor down to where the side of the new basement will be.
I got it. So rather than going up the stairs from, if you were walking down the driveway from Lorraine,
Right.
you're not going up and then connecting to this little patio
Yeah,
or
little
deck.
deck, yeah.
You're coming out of a side door and going down the stairs?
Yes. Yeah. So in between the current kitchen and my mom's bedroom, there'll be like a small mudroom space that will then have a side door that goes onto the landing and down the stairs.
Got it. Okay. I don't have any other questions. Thank you.
Jesse?
I think the only question I had that you didn't testify to yet is, I mean, often recently we've been hearing people are working from home more often. Is that the case? Are you guys working from home or doing any business from home?
So my husband, in the evenings, has a second job. He owns his own business, a counseling business. And currently, when he sees his clients virtually, he's in my mom's bedroom. So by having these extra spaces, there'll be another place that he can go and not see clients in her room. So when she wants to go to bed, she can go to bed. Right now, she can't do that.
And you said virtually, so there's nobody coming to the house?
Nobody's coming to the house.
Okay.
No, it's all virtual.
And there's no other business conducted in the house or anything? Okay.
No, I'm a librarian, and some days I do get to work from home, which is nice, but we need more space. We have 2 young boys, they're 8 and 6, and then my mom, so give her a little space that's a little bit away from my boys, because they are loud and rambunctious, and allow Scott to have his own space to see his clients without impeding anybody's bedtime.
Great. All my other questions have been asked, so no other questions. Thank you.
Okay, I have just a few.
Okay.
Stephanie, where are you going to direct the water runoff from the addition? The rainwater that collects, are you going to discharge it into your backyard, into your driveway?
It goes into the driveway.
Okay.
That's where it goes currently, so I think we're keeping the same structure to where our current drain spouts are to go down into the driveway.
And what's the exterior finish going to look like? Is it going to be similar to the rest of the house?
So it's going to be, the addition will be all siding, and then the same siding is we're going to replace the current siding just to keep it all the same and looking nice.
Right. And how long do you think construction will take?
They told us about 3 months.
I have nothing else. Any other questions? Jess?
No.
Ed?
No.
Bill? No. Jesse? No. Anything else you guys would like to add?
Do you want to add anything?
I swear you have to talk about
I don't know if this matters, but our neighbors on the other side will not be around during the summer, so
If we can
If
build
we can get
during the summer,
it'd be ideal.
we're not bothering some of our
Yeah.
neighbors.
And the reason I ask, and we, if a case is approved, we
Yeah.
always put a condition that it be completed within a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
Because, maybe you're fortunate enough to not have experienced the construction projects that never end and drive all the neighbors crazy.
Fingers crossed, that's not what's happening here. They've told us 3 months, and they seem about ready to start whenever we're ready.
Okay. Now I'll ask if there's anyone present that received certified mail that wishes to testify. Anyone present that received regular mail, please come forward. You guys can have a seat. Hello. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
And your full name and address for the record, please?
Jeanette Kurlak, 771, Jeanette Kurlak.
Can you speak into the microphone?
Kurylak. I'm sorry, speak into the microphone, please. Jeanette Kurlak, Kurylak, 771 Humphrey Street, Ardmore.
And what would you like to tell us, Jeanette?
Okay, if this, I don't think it's going to affect me personally, but if this gets passed, will it be easier for other people to do the same thing that may affect me?
Every case is individual and, subject to the uniqueness of a certain property and the conditions that exist,
Okay, so it wouldn't be
hardships that
something.
exist. So the answer is no.
Okay,
It doesn't set a precedent, if that's what you're asking.
yes.
No.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? Any other residents? All right. With that, we'll close the record on this case, and we will try to do a decision this evening. I don't see the next applicant here yet, so I know we have a few things to discuss with you about this before we do a decision. So we'll close the record on this case, most likely do a decision this evening. If not, a decision would be rendered at our next regularly scheduled meeting on June 1st. So with that, John Williamson is not here, correct? Okay. All right, well, we'll take a 5-minute recess, and if he's not here, the case will be called and adjourned.
We're good.
Okay, with respect to case Z23-09, Scott and Stephanie Bragg. Jessica, are you prepared to vote? Ed, are you? Yes. Bill?
Yes, I am.
Jesse? Yes. And so am I. Jesse, would you please take this decision?
I would. With regards to case Z23-09, I would vote to approve the requested variance with the following reasonable conditions. No storage shall be kept in the 2-foot interstitial space at the party wall, and the space shall be maintained per township code. Stormwater shall be managed so as not to adversely impact the neighbors. The project shall be completed within 1 year and in accordance with the notes of testimony.
I agree.
Ed?
Concur.
Bill?
I agree.
And so do I. That application's approved 5-0 with those conditions. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
All right. Our final case for this evening is Z23-07, John P. Williamson, owner of 720 North Eagle Road, Haverford Town, PA, DC folio number 220100365000, who seeks to appeal a notice of violation issued by the Township Zoning Officer on March 1st, 2023, regarding the placement of a 4-foot by 8-foot off-site advertising sign at the subject property, and variances from the provisions of Section 182-701G1 to allow off-site advertising at the subject property, and 182-701C1A1 to exceed the maximum total sign area of 6 square feet permitted on the property, as granted by variance by the zoning hearing board on May 15, 2003, case number Z03-7. Property is zone R5 and located in the 4th Ward. Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams. Is there anyone here that represents Mr. Williamson?
Kelly, when you were asked to delay that case, did Mr. Williamson indicate at what time he would arrive?
He did not, and he asked me how long I thought the other cases would take, and I told him that I truly had no idea because of the many different types of cases that we had. I was not anticipating that we would have a continuance this evening, but I also was unable to give him any sort of time of when we would be able to hear his case.
And he didn't request a continuance?
He did, and we had email discussions that that the latest that we could continue the case would be to this meeting to meet the 60-day deadline of the MPC to hold the first hearing.
I meant this evening. He didn't request a continuance from this evening?
No.
Okay. And it is now just shy of 8:35. Matters were listed for 7:30. We have done the first 2 matters on the list. The third one was continued, leaving Mr. Williamson, Z23-07. And there's no further communication at this point from Mr. Williamson via email?
Did he say why he could not be here when, at the start of the hearing?
He did mention some sort of prior engagement.
Well, the cases were listed for 7 o'clock. There wasn't a continuance request.
7:30.
7:30, I apologize. There was not a continuance request. We did accommodate by allowing the 2 new cases to precede a continued case for old business. At this point, I think the board, with no applicant in front of the board to hear any testimony, there's a lack of submission of evidence for purposes of the applicant's burden of proof. It's up to the board if it would like to vote to dismiss the case or to proceed with a little extra time.
We'll put this case aside just for a moment, and I'll ask, is there any other administrative business that the board needs to address?
We received 2 minutes from
Read
Ernie.
the minutes.
And let me just check the dates. I'm sorry.
April 20th and March 16th.
March 16th. Okay. I would make a motion to to accept the minutes.
Second that?
In favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, any other administrative matters? Any other discussion about anything?
No.
Well, I'm going to ask for a vote on the board, although I don't think I need to. I think I have the authority to just dismiss the case myself, but I would move that we dismiss this case with prejudice, without prejudice. Without prejudice. For lack of,
For, I would say,
Process.
yeah, lack of
oh, lawyer,
prosecution.
help me out.
Lack of prosecution of the application.
Okay.
So.
Anybody want any discussion on that?
Yeah, just to make sure I understand what we're talking about here, the applicant could refile,
Yes.
right? You know, if we want to wait a few minutes, we have people here in the audience. I presume you're all here for this case? So, not trying to burden the townspeople who have made the effort and taken the time to show up for this hearing and have sat through other cases, you know, we're not going to stay open all night waiting and hoping that he shows up. So, you know, I'm okay if we want to wait a few minutes, but I'm also okay if we want to dismiss.
Ed, do you want to be heard?
No, I have nothing to say.
Jessica?
I have nothing to add.
Jesse? Okay. Well, how long would you suggest?
10 minutes, 5 minutes?
Okay. I'll hold my motion for until 8:45.
You
At
made
8,
the motion, wasn't seconded yet, so.
well, so I made the motion, but I thought I heard a second. That's why we had discussion.
We did.
Oh, yeah, I seconded. Second, all right, sorry.
So we had a motion, a second discussion. So we'll wait until 8:45. If he's not here and ready to proceed at 8:45, then I'll call for a vote on my motion and the case will be dismissed. And for anyone wondering what could happen next, then, you know, once an application for zoning relief is filed with the township, it pretty much stays any fines being issued. So if the application is dismissed tonight, there's a pretty good chance that he'll receive a citation tomorrow, right, Kelly?
Well, I have to file with the court, and then the court sends the citations.
But the process will begin.
Process would begin, yes.
And, you know, he can refile, he's gonna pay the filing fee again, and that we can't prevent. And I really, and you'll understand this, Jennifer, I really can't dismiss it with prejudice.
No.
Yeah, we've been doing this for a long time.
So
Okay,
I
then we're
think
gonna
it-
go into recess until 8:45. At 8:45, if he's not here ready to proceed, the case will be dismissed.
I think it's, and I think we do it by denial. I think it's denial.
Ernie, could you describe the difference between with prejudice and without prejudice?
Yeah, with prejudice means you're unable to refile. We don't have that authority. They could always go and refile because you could always change the circumstances. But we do have the authority to deny the case for lack of prosecution and evidence presented by the applicant. So.
Thank you.
Okay, then we're gonna go into recess until 8:45 sharp.
And we're on?
Okay, we'll reconvene the meeting of the Haverford Township Zoning Hearing Board of Thursday, May 18th, 2023. Prior to the break, we called the next case, which is Z2307, John P. Williamson. Mr. Williamson is not here to proceed. We permitted more time to 8:45. It's now 8:46. Is Mr. Williamson present? Is anyone here present to proceed on the case on his behalf? There was a motion and a second. We had discussion. We held a vote until 8:45. It's now 8:47. I'm going to call for a vote. In favor of the motion, yes or no? Jessica?
Yes.
Ed? Yes. Bill?
This is a motion to deny the case
For lack of prosecution.
for lack of prosecution, right? Yeah, I agree.
Jesse?
Yes to deny?
And obviously, I made the motion. I concur. This case is dismissed, denied. What's the correct?
Denied.
Denied. Lack of prosecution. By a 5-0 vote. Any other administrative matters? Okay, we are adjourned.